Every atom in your body is, technically, unstable, not radioactively, structurally. There may be a more stable arrangement of matter than the protons and neutrons you're made of. And if a single microscopic seed of it ever touched Earth, our entire planet would convert into something else within minutes. No explosion, no warning. Just a silent, unstoppable rewrite of reality, atom by atom, until there's nothing left of us but a dense, dead sphere the size of a few football fields. This sounds like science fiction, but it's actually one of the strangest unresolved ideas in modern particle physics. And the terrifying part isn't that it might be true, it's that if it is, there's nothing stopping it from happening right now. To understand how a single invisible particle could trigger this apocalypse, we have to look inside the darkest, most violent places in the universe, the cores of dead stars. But first, look at the ordinary matter surrounding us. Every star, every planet, and every drop of water is built from atoms, which themselves are made of protons and neutrons. Deep inside those particles lies a hidden layer of the cosmos, quarks. In our everyday world, quarks are forever bound together in groups of three. Imagine 3 dogs on leashes so short, they can never be more than a foot apart. No matter how hard they pull, the leash always wins. That leash is the strong nuclear force, one of the most powerful rules in nature, and in our universe, it never breaks. It forces quarks to remain confined, creating the stable, familiar matter that allows chemistry, biology, and ultimately human observers to exist. Except, perhaps, in one place. When massive stars die, they leave behind neutron stars. These stellar corpses are so impossibly dense that a sugar cube-sized amount of their material would weigh billions of tons on Earth. Deep inside these crushed cores, gravity warps the rules of physics. Some theoretical models suggest that under enough pressure, even the strong force may no longer keep quarks confined in the way it does inside ordinary matter. Protons and neutrons melt together into a swirling, turbulent ocean of subatomic particles. In this ultra-dense soup, quarks might actually roam freely. And it's within this chaotic crucible that nature might forge something entirely new. Strange matter. Here's the unsettling part. Nature doesn't necessarily prefer the kind of matter we're made of. It may simply tolerate it. Ordinary matter is made exclusively of up and down quarks. But in this extreme pressure cooker, some convert into a heavier variety called strange quarks. When up, down, and strange quarks combine in roughly equal numbers, they form a strangelet. Picture a marble sitting in a bowl. It looks perfectly stable until you tilt the table and reveal there's a second, deeper bowl right next to it. The marble was never truly at rest. It was just waiting for a nudge toward the real bottom. That's what the strange matter hypothesis says about every atom in your body. It suggests ordinary matter is resting on a precarious ledge, and strange matter is the true absolute floor of the valley. If this hypothesis holds true, strange matter is the most stable substance in the cosmos. Nobody has ever actually observed it, so this entire scenario rests on an idea that's still fiercely debated. But if it exists, it wouldn't decay, it wouldn't break apart. It's the ultimate cosmic domino. And a substance that exists in a perfectly stable, lower energy state has the power to pull all higher energy matter down into the valley with it. This brings us to the theoretical blueprint of an apocalypse not born of fire or celestial impact, but of subatomic conversion. The genesis of strangelets within a neutron star is only the beginning of their story. The real nightmare emerges when one of these microscopic seeds of perfect stability escapes the graveyard of a dead star and journeys across the vast, silent stretches of interstellar space, seeking a new environment to completely optimize. How does a microscopic seed of such perfect stability escape to threaten the wider cosmos? It starts with a cosmic catastrophe. Imagine 2 neutron stars locked in a decaying binary orbit. As they spiral closer together, gravity shreds them until they finally collide in an event known as a kilonova. In this unimaginable violence, fragments of the neutron star's cores are violently thrown into the vacuum of deep space. Among the shimmering debris is our hypothetical strangelet. It might be no larger than a single atom, yet unimaginably heavy, carrying the dense legacy of its violent birth. It drifts for eons, a microscopic bullet traveling through the void at a fraction of the speed of light. It carries no malicious intent. It's just a perfectly ordered machine seeking to share its lower energy state. Eventually, it crosses the threshold of our solar system. Because it's incredibly small, it slips entirely unnoticed through our atmosphere. It casts no shadow. It simply falls, pulled by Earth's gravity, completely undetected. But here is where the physics becomes a nightmare. A typical strangelet is theoretically predicted to carry a slight positive electrical charge. This means it should be repelled by the positively charged nuclei of our atoms. If it were moving slowly, it would just bounce off our atmosphere, blocked by an invisible electrostatic wall. However, if the strangelet retained enough momentum from its birth, some theoretical studies suggest it could overcome this electrostatic repulsion and penetrate an atomic nucleus, assuming it's still moving fast enough after eons of drift to punch through that barrier, which is itself an open question. But if it does, the catastrophe begins the exact microsecond the strangelet forcefully breaches the nucleus of an ordinary atom, whether it's an oxygen atom in the air or a silicon atom in the mountain rock. Here, we have to discard our intuition of physical collisions. It doesn't smash into atoms like a normal impact. It acts like a microscopic seed crystal dropped into supercooled water. The moment it makes contact, it instantly forces the water around it to freeze, locking it into a new, rigid pattern. The ordinary quarks in the normal nucleus are thermodynamically compelled to join the strangelet. The boundary between the two particles dissolves. The normal up and down quarks are instantly absorbed, forcefully converted into strange quarks, and tightly bound into the rapidly expanding mass. We are trading the fragile complexity of normal matter for the unbreakable perfection of strange matter. Dropping to a lower energy state releases a tremendous burst of radiation, but this sudden flash of heat is entirely secondary to the true mechanical terror. By absorbing the normal atom, the strangelet has grown larger, heavier, and marginally more infectious. Driven by its increasing mass, gravity pulls it inexorably downward. It's less like a fire and more like a rumor that can't be unheard. Once one atom learns the lower energy configuration, it teaches its neighbor, which teaches its neighbor. And unlike a fire, there's no fuel to run out of because the entire planet is fuel. As the strangelet grows in size, its surface area expands, allowing it to touch and convert thousands, then millions, then billions of atoms simultaneously. It plummets into the Earth's mantle, leaving no physical tunnel behind, only an expanding wavefront of conversion. It is a runaway subatomic wildfire burning through the very bedrock of reality, completely indifferent to the complex chemistry of the world above. When it reaches the Earth's iron core, the incredible density of the planetary center provides an endless, tightly packed feast of ordinary nuclei. The strange matter consumes the planet from the inside out. On the surface, the end would come swiftly and without warning. The ground wouldn't shatter or explode outward. It would simply dissolve, collapsing inward at breathtaking speed, as the structural integrity of every molecule in the planet is instantly overridden. Depending on how efficiently the conversion spreads, something physicists still can't fully calculate. The collapse could unfold over minutes, or it could take much longer. Nobody knows for certain, which is arguably the most unsettling part. But the Earth, as we know it, ceases to exist. The conversion doesn't preserve every kilogram of Earth's mass. Some of it escapes as an enormous burst of energy, leaving behind an object that's slightly lighter but unimaginably denser. Because of this slight mass loss, the Moon's orbit would drift outward by an almost imperceptible amount, orbiting a ghost. Where a vibrant blue marble once stood, there is now only a sterile, hyperdense sphere. If every atom converted, the entire mass of the Earth, from the highest mountains to the deepest oceans, would be compressed into a ball, roughly 300 meters across, about the size of 3 football fields. It hangs in the darkness, a miniature echo of the neutron star that birthed the original strangelet, radiating the immense latent heat of its own violent conversion. All the complex information, all the varied elements, and all the fragile biology of our world have been erased, replaced by a uniform, terrifying perfection. Once the chain reaction begins, the laws of physics offer no mechanism to halt it. Faced with such an absolute obstacle, a terrifying question arises. How do you stop a microscopic, unbreakable apocalypse? If a strangelet reaches our atmosphere, the battle is already lost. You can't build a physical shield to deflect it, because any wall you put in its path is made of normal matter. It would instantly become fuel for the conversion. You can't blow it up, because it's already in the most stable state physically possible. It's the ultimate, unstoppable force. So, how do we survive? Our only workaround is omniscient cosmic awareness. We can't wait for the bullet to arrive. We have to watch the celestial guns firing it. We do this by listening for the earthquakes that birth them. When two neutron stars collide, they send out deep gravitational ripples like a heavy stone dropped into a calm pond that eventually wash over our planet. By feeling this literal stretching and squeezing of space, we can map out these cosmic collision zones, tracking the theoretical waves of stellar shrapnel radiating outward from distant cataclysms. But space is vast, and knowing a star exploded light years away doesn't tell us if a single invisible atom is about to strike Earth today. That's the glaring limitation of our early warning system. To spot the strangelet itself, we have to cast a massive net, deploying arrays of particle detectors buried deep within Antarctic ice and stationed high in orbit. We're searching for an ultra-heavy energetic signature, a distinct footprint left in the cosmic snow when a strangelet occasionally bumps into interstellar dust. Yet, sifting through billions of normal particle strikes every single second to isolate one incredibly rare anomaly is a staggering challenge. We're essentially trying to track a grain of sand through a planetary blizzard. But it offers a glimmer of hope, because if we could detect a strangelet on a collision course with centuries of warning, we wouldn't need to destroy it. We'd just need to avoid it. By utilizing the focused gravitational tug of a massive artificial probe, or by applying the intense continuous photon pressure of space-based lasers, we wouldn't break the strangelet. We'd simply nudge it. A fraction of a degree of deflection, applied over decades, is all it takes to ensure the anomaly sails harmlessly past our fragile blue target. Ultimately, the strange matter hypothesis is a terrifying mirror. It reminds us that the solid ground beneath our feet, the air we breathe, and the biology that makes us human are all resting on a razor-thin ledge of cosmic probability. We are fragile arrangements of stardust, living in a universe capable of erasing us with a single, perfectly ordered atom. But we are also the universe's way of thinking. Armed with nothing but mathematics and curiosity, we have reached out into the dark, mapped the collisions of dead stars, and decoded the invisible mechanics of our own destruction. The universe may contain matter more perfect than we are, but as far as we know, it has never produced anything more extraordinary than a species capable of discovering that possibility before it arrives.